students, in the last lecture we are discussing with electric energy. Okay, now in this lecture we start from electric power. What is electric power? As you know that power is the rate of doing work or rate at which electric energy is consumed. Okay, so electric power is the rate at which electric energy is consumed. Okay, that is electric power. P is equal to delta K upon delta T, because electric energy is in the form of kinetic energy. So electric power P is equal to delta K upon delta T. But from last section we know that delta K is equal to VI delta T. So we get electric power P is equal to VI, product of potential and current. Okay, now power transmission. What is power transmission? How is the power transmitted from powerhouse to our homes? Okay, for this consider a device R, for example, okay, to which a power P is delivered via transmission cables having resistance R C in subscript R C. Okay, now the power delivered to device having resistance R is P is equal to VI. Okay, equation number 1. Now this power is dissipated in transmission cables in the form of heat energy. When current is passing through a wire, it produces heat, that is joules heating. Okay, so the power is dissipated in transmission cables in the form of heat energy. So PC, the power dissipated in cables, is equal to I square RC. Okay, but from equation 1, I is equal to P upon V. Okay, so PC is equal to P upon V whole square into RC. Then we get PC is equal to P square RC upon V square. Okay, now from this formula, if we increase the voltage, then power dissipated in cables reduced. Okay, the power dissipated in transmission cables can be reduced by increasing the voltage of power supply. So the power is at high voltage supplied by the power houses. Okay, when this power reaches to our homes, then a step down transformer convert it to 220 volt supply that we use in our houses. Okay, now the combination of resistances. Okay, resistances can be grouped in two ways. Most of the students know about this because this is the topic of 10th class. First is resistances in series. This is the series combination. And second is resistances in parallel. Okay, now resistances in series. How we identify the resistances in series? Then two or more resistances are said to be in series. Two or more resistances are said to be in series if they are connected one after the other. Okay, they are connected one after the other. Always remember this. For example, as like students in a row. When the students are standing in a row, then they are in series. Okay? Consider two resistances R1 and R2 are connected in series. Okay? So, from diagram you can see that the current in each part of the circuit remain same. So, in series combination, current in each part remain same. Current remains same in case of series. Always remember, in case of series, current remain same. So, total potential between A and C. There are 2 points A and C. Total potential between A and C. That is V is equal to V1 plus V2. V equal to V1 plus V2. According to Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to IR. For R1, V1 is equal to IR1 and V2 is equal to IR2. I remains same. Okay, so put the value of V1 and V2 in this. We get V is equal to IR1 plus IR2. I is common, so V is equal to I R1 plus R2. Then I comes in denominator. We get V upon I is equal to R1 plus R2 as equation 1. Okay, if this combination is replaced by a resistance R, this combination is replaced by a resistance R through which current I is flowing, then according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR or R is equal to V upon I. R is equal to V upon I and V upon I is equal to R1 plus R2. So, from equation 1, we get R is equal to R1 plus R2. You can use R is equal to R1 plus R2 from equation 1 directly because you know that V upon I is R. So, you can use direct from equation 1. First, you write equation 1 and then the formula R is equal to R1 plus R2. This is the formula of total resistance in case of series for two resistances. If there are three resistances, then R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. And for n resistances, R is equal to R1 plus R2 up to Rn. Okay. Now the resistances in parallel. Okay, two or more resistances are said to be in parallel if one end of all resistances. In this case, two resistances. So the end of two resistances is connected to one common point. That is B1. Okay. And other end of resistances to another common point B2. Okay. Now, in case of parallel combination, potential difference remains same. The resistance R1 and R2 are connected to the same points and the potential difference between points remains same. So in case of parallel combination, potential difference remain same. Okay. In parallel combination, current in each part of the circuit is different. So, total current in the circuit is I equal to I1 plus I2. According to Ohm's law, I1 is equal to V upon R1 and I2 is equal to V upon R2. V is same because this is the parallel combination. Okay, so put the value of I1 and I2 in this equation, we get I equal to V upon R1 plus V upon R2. As V is common, so we get I is equal to V 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Okay, then I upon V is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Okay, if this combination is replaced by resistance R, then according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. From this, I upon V is equal to 1 upon R. If V is equal to IR, then I upon V is equal to 1 upon R. But I upon V is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Then from equation 1, we get 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. You can use this directly because you know that I upon V is equal to 1 upon R. So from this equation, you can use directly 1 upon R1 is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Okay, this is the result for two resistances. If there are three resistances, then plus 1 upon R3. If there are n resistances, then 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus up to 1 upon Rn. Okay.